Well everyone, we have got the biggest news of like the last 10 years, and does this even get called a gossip? This is a mega gossip, as you can tell by on screen. Well, AQLite is coming to town, and properly, which is very, very exciting, so people won't have to worry anymore. So on the artix launcher, as you can see, there's the little option here to get into the test client, and once you're in here, you are basically back in AQLite, but actually a proper official version, which is absolutely perfect. So what you saw on screen there was me pressing L. You can press L at any point, and that opens up your quest box, and you can do turn-ins and that sort of thing. So that is a really nice little feature. There's loads in here, and we will scroll down in just a minute and I'll show you the ones I normally turn on. It's really good for reducing lag and of course the huge quality of life improvements. So as you can see here, the inventory, you can actually scroll using your mouse wheel up and down it, and there is a search feature, so if you just want to go along, find that one particular ungodly laggers, there they are, you can go ahead and search for them, which is actually one of the really incredibly useful things. You can press B on your keyboard and that will open up the bank, and that means goodbye to bank pets, no more 2000 ACs on them if you want easy access to the bank. And then on quest rewards, you can actually see if they're going to be AC tagged or not, which is incredibly exciting. Another feature AQLite used to have in particular when turning in quests was you could see the percentage for the drop rate on particular items, which was a really nice little add-in. Hopefully that is still there now. What we will do is go through these advanced options properly in just a moment. However, there are a couple bits in here that are really quite useful to know. You've got declinal drops, which is more relevant in a little bit. So if you've been farming, you get all your drops in your custom UI box, which again I will show you later, and then you can just decline them all and they all go instantly. And there is the blacklist, so if there's particular drops that you keep getting that are real clunky, you don't want them there, you can chuck them in the blacklist so they just don't appear anymore, and you can also just take them out the blacklist and that sort of thing. So don't worry, they won't disappear forever. You do have the option to bring them back if you needed them in the future. Anyway, so first of all, I'm turning on the chat UI. This isn't the one from AQLite. This is the sort of one they were making a little while ago that they've integrated into here, which is, well, we'll talk about that. It's interesting. Anyway, so disable monster animations. I'd recommend that for reducing lag. You really don't need the animations on. You can also disable the skill animations. I always have that. I've left weapon animations on for the minute, but again, I'll probably end up turning those off. Anything to make the game nice and smooth. The next setting I'd recommend turning on is freezing and locking monster positions, because it's so much easier than having them run around chasing you all over the map just because they want to latch onto you. And then as you keep on coming down, you'll be able to turn on re-accepting quests after turn in. That means of course it's literally turn in, it's accepted, turn in. It makes again your life 1,000 times quicker. You have the option to show your monster type and of course enable smooth background, but I'm leaving them because I don't ever, to be honest, find them all that useful. Anyway, so as we said, that's what the chat box looks like. You have to restart the launcher to do that. To be honest, I prefer the AQLite one. I like having just a chat panel all on its own, and it doesn't look quite as clunky. I think this one looks a little bit clunky, so maybe that's just my only criticism, but that's the way it goes. Anyway, so as you can see, that's the drop UI. You probably would have seen me using it on streams. It will just stack all the items up in there and have nice little ×4s, 5s, ×1,000, depending on what you're farming. You have the option of the camera tool, and then again, you can snap the map like this if you so choose, so that's quite exciting. Now, moving away from AQLite, you can see we're back at the challenge fight, and there's been an update. Basically, you can no longer hit above 100k. As many of you know, I was literally moaning about this the other day, that I thought they were made far too easy and they weren't a challenge anymore. So it looks like they've addressed that, which is, well, it's a bit unlucky for those of you who are still farming it, so apologies about that. But again, it does mean that any future challenge fights that come out are going to have these boss shields enabled, just so you can't go along with CDK and nuke it in one hit, which is never how the fight was meant to be in the first place, so I'm not going to moan too much about that change. Anyway guys, thank you all very much for watching. Leave the video a like, enjoy going along and using AQLite, it's so much easier, and until next time, have a lovely day.